Okay, yes. All right. I was for Mamichi Bibi and Memo Bibi Akwaba. I had born against sports. I was for your association. My memo was special Sunday and a special good afternoon to each and everyone. I was for your association live on the born against sports. Now, this is Ghana Premier League. Kumasi Asante Kotoko and a Basake Holy Stars. Yes. And a deba yantam so and a Kumasi Baba Jara Sport Stadium now. Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Ewa go pamana so. Na o mapi mo baba ya warm up. Mama bibia etumi so aye fine. Na so far when say House of Folk in the Ghana Premier League. Omabomu 20 matches ni nyina. Etumi so ewie any day and Kumasi Asante Kotoko and so ebomo week 20 and so ewo na Kotoko Basake. The last time Kotoko na Basake boy that was round 1. Almost Kumasi Asante Kotoko academy Kotoko team so bako. That was a difficult game and also the first defeat for Kumasi Asante Kotoko in that game. Now, and a Kotoko Basake, you might say, the line up in Yaba.
Three things either win, lose, or draw. And you know, the baby say, we didn't year. That's any penny who say, what about fake ball, wedding year, and I went on a result. So I think say Eddie Asum be beba because without Kotoko and Hassan, our blaster no intimate blaster. Into these two teams, no, I was say, my any con now your league in so penny funny year my said the beya home can I energy. Take a cram so me work on.
All right, thank you very much. I was for any Sandra, any deal come one of Hasselfook. Big fan of baby a team that could be with the HD anyway in the deal come on. Our Jamaican so still we are live. Kumasi Asante to Basake for Naba. So on the screen, Basake Holy Stars. Omewu the Musu Agro Pamanoso. More your warm up. Ain't you? Also, back at Kanyama DC and in that game. No, that to me so Abaso and so our Hanum. And I bet some white bench into Shake Beba. Aha, Obebana, you to me said you come more. Eddie, a few of her for your hoodie way forward. Na and Yama at me so I can Eddie Abom and so our Hanum. Na, you better trust the this is Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And I'm a from matches in India, Eberson from on Nefi, you made the game now, Cassan so home come. Kotoko Basake. Hey, line up on the medical the amount. Medical the line up on the amount. I bet someone and start game. The Togo Yakubine start here. And if more we feel those. So these are the strikers. I was a friend almost a start game now. And I'm a Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Now, so what checking and then Kasama is never seen. I'm the Sporting Club. Diema, hey, and Mediama Kerala United and Airbo. It is a big game. A big game, game we CBBC was for a man and one CBBC this game. A man because Mediama Basake, Yemu pa. Kerala United, I can't say. Basake phone was like a be your friend Bismarck Tay. My name is anyone maybe there. We're one of the fine strikers. Omusi Akandima Basake. But any behu the beef the mebeba. So Kotoko Fono, Kotoko warm up and a air course wa technical team of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Juma, I was some yellow week in the moon or my heavy. Eduma mo ye ni week ni mo nyina o ma ye wi ene mo ba be but ene they must win because after this game no Kotoko ebe wi mo pandu Kotoko ebe wi mo pandu then from the pandu out of Lions etume so ede akwa yantam so nti this is a gamer also Kumasi Asante Kotoko players na mo modern also cause so we ni we na wo ko share ana akonya do ko kwando ba woni hasifu kana de be yantam so nti ano so betumi so aboa na aman kunimdi no etumi so aye ekitafo no so dia for any game e so shake we a na afia ne ready nkomo ne ye ho di film a eba ono so eba be jeje ade egum records between Basake and if it has to folk oba obetumi so ageni na etumi so dia maye na whilst na me ka eye ene matches ni bi a eba so enso e wa hanom no and the players some are available for the game Lord Amwa, Peter Amidu Akwa, Seth Kwejo, Samba Winner, Dauda Saka.
Asante I'm only passing police stars. Right now, they get in a center. Via set. Mas club Asante for no case via set. Signal lines. Basake Holy Stars wana kibona kwa Once club Asante Kotoko, you start to give less than 1 minute. You start to give less than 1 minute. Bona media Once club Asante Kotoko, Prince Bedou, Wakosh Light and Bona media Basake Holy Stars. Basake Holy Stars, they're born back. Masi Asante Kotoko, Samba Unel. Kewara da man goalkeeper Kamara da man Joseph.
Aí não é onde vai de bola.
Masi Asante Kotoko na free kick na ha. Wana ko di Joseph peja bo no chance for Kotoko na so. Beje wa bo shot e free kick. Chance for Kotoko Jawi.
Ti eno na ama ase why na aju say asese na so oyere ne ho na so obeka national team
no so no na on hwe san ko bedem dia mai Kotoko be extending the contract because South Africa go for no betimi afa no san kwa African goalkeeper no you see well you see national team
eno so
I'm the better bench you
enya dia obeka okwa obetimi enya first 11 and also betimi enya post no ada
Sometimes players no munya akonya na untu omufa omuntie.
it's all about money yeah mo this can first
So udwin sika na okotena asem ese wo career na eno na ya na yema. Ya na wadwen wo career no ho. And I want to be make an say because kind of who say enye ne nkwa didida na yo enye ne nkwa ebia na wahu sika no wo di America wako obi ti say abrantie Charles Kwaku Asampon Bania Taylor no munyina sa sika nibre ya na man ne Charles Kwaku Asampon Bania Taylor and on retired from football what did they make an say oko na sa amoawa na wo san ba na unya timu mu a eno na ama o career na ya ending etia omunya abotre seketwa no mbeje omonje no munya adwuma den because eye den a ebrepa ebeba mo munya team a mo kwa o betimi eye adwuma kama
whoa man today but last one ne yoko
me last word I make ache atiefo ane Kotoko fans ne Basake Olive Stars fans nyina say eye game football bibia eye 3 ene wo football either you win or lose or draw
enti what the two teams no the obayere no ho ene benya 3 points no sa ankoba ne sa na koba draw nso a alhamdulillah yemfa seda ema otumfo nyankopon
right medase within you say
from Yusuf
okay Yusuf yeah Yusuf okay shake your name come over your name come good afternoon maybe aboko
Yeah, Masamba.
we game na basi who game they say
Yes. Kobia Kumasi Asante Kotoko against Basake Holy Stars born again. Who say game we no? Yes. Sena na previously me di kai no. Ebe a very good game and so hono. Say Oshe Kumasi Asante Kotoko this season. Oma struggle against a teams are almost the newly promoted size no. Against newly promoted sides bia otumi hu say almost so etimi struggle enso e ho because omo call away to Swedro All Blacks ye hu say omo team no enso etimi ekolozi by 2-1 enso e ho no na omo ebebo against Bobokuo a ye frɛ omo say yeah omo bo against Bobokuo from say hohoi e wa away and also omutimi ekolusi enso ehohono na omo esan ball against Boboko from say Echima 11 Wonders yes against 11 Wonders Kotoko etimi enya a 2-0 win but after the game no na fans no still na omo nye convinced about the win na team no enso etimi enya aye no yehu say Johnson upon enya the first goal enso ehohono na Abrantia ye friend say Peter Amidu Akwa enya that super goal also Edema Krobia Kumasi Asante Kotoko and so on. So I think say against newly promoted side, the only time Kotoko every year against 11 Wonders and Umpono after the game now amount for complaining about the kind of game and Kotoko airborne because Omo believe is now a good football and Kotoko it's me SLA.
That was good intent, trying to switch play, trying to go a bit more expansive there up front. And then accuracy just not there.
Here is Dogo. He wants to shoot, he tries to slack from a distance and is drifted wide for a goal kick. Not a good effort from Dogo.
And you would apologize, but it's interesting to note the spaces, in between for both sides to try and attack. And for Kotoko, they've had so much space up front. We've just not seen the surging rounds of the fullbacks, talking about Lord Amwa and then also Joseph Abwa.
Here is Issa Yakubu. He's playing in a more advanced role today, with Jetcha playing behind him and providing the cover for the back four, with Simba playing in between. Here is Issa Yakubu again, but that's a lovely tackle from Prince Bedu. The former nations man goes down and wins a foul for Asante Kotoko. He started against Gold Stars and he was very impressive. He's been rewarded with another starting place today, and so far he's been spot on, Bedu.
Yeah, barely put a foot wrong. Former nations man, knows his job very well, provides cover up each and every time. And I think he's that type of player that Abdul Karim Zito would always fancy to have him in his 11. You look at his physique, and aerial presence as well. Has that penchant for winning tackles also, in those 1v1 situations. Very, very difficult to go past him, and he's really, really been instrumental so far since joining.
Sambo Neil picks out Saka Dauda, tees up Lord Armour on his bike on the right. He swings in across. Donzo heads it down, collected by Asempa.
There again, space being exploited over there from the right hand side. It was a swift attack, a swift movement of the ball by Master Asante Kotoko. And each and every time they have the ball, it's so easy for them to make an entry into the final third. Just look at that whip into the crossbar. Donzo just heading that ball a bit more vertical, allowing the goalkeeper to grab that easily.
Referee whistles because assistant referee is indicating that there was a foul on Quaison earlier. He tried to play the advantage because Yakubu Issa had possession, but he goes back to take where the original foul occurred. That's right there. Joseph Amwa on Quaison.
I think it was a good call. Tried to play the advantage until Basake Holy Stars lost possession of that ball. It'll always be an interesting battle between these two. Quaison more, he's strong, pacey as well, skillful. He's not Amwa or Joseph Amwa at that left back position.
Benjamin Chivanyo has put Eduana ahead. In Swedro is All Blacks 0, Eduana 1. Here in Kumasi, Kotoko and Holy Stars are yet to create any clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. Here comes Aqua. Shows too much of the ball to that right back, Francis Asante of Holy Stars. And Kotoko will get the advantage from that late challenge on Peter Amidu Aqua.
It was the 1v1 situation, and it was, Asante was trailing a bit late there on arrival, but sticks in the leg and rightly catches the foot of Peter Amidu Aqua. That's the strength of Peter Amidu Aqua, especially on the run whenever he has the ball and he's on the move. Very, very difficult to stop.
Asante Kotoko currently fit on the league log. 8 wins, 8 draws, 3 defeats this season. Here's Lord Armour's free kick. Headed down by Boazi now, away by Simba. Prince Opoku controls it for Holy Stars. Tries to pick out Cheneboa. But Saka Dauda does what to win possession, finds Armour, now Bedu gets it away. Asante returns it with a header for Holy Stars. Now Quayson, brilliant play from Quayson. Opoku to Quayson. He seems to be the main man, the danger man for Holy Stars. Kotoko might have to find an antidote to his tricks and antics. He can be dangerous.
Yeah, he is very dangerous. You talk about power, talk about pace, talk about skill, and he has all that in his armory. You would always need to double up on him each and every time he's on the ascendancy.
Boniface blade to Cheneboa. Turns around and finds Simba. Simba sees Quayson on the right. He finds Quayson. Lovely skill to go past Armour. Here is Quayson. Quayson! The effort in the end is a poor one, but you can talk about the movement, the skill, the trickery to go past Armour.
And it would be a long afternoon for Armour at that position, especially having Quayson. And we've spoken about, his quality and the threat he poses to the Asante Kotoko defense. And just look at that, just ghosting everyone with so much ease. The ball fortunately coming off the foot of Jehu. Just couldn't keep his head up a bit. To just take a glance at the pool before shooting that one. But he's very, very, very good with what he does, and he would always be a threat.
There's a foul against Yakubu Dogo. It was an initial tackle on Captain Arta, overlooked. Then he eventually found Jetia, but that would not escape the lenses of Nathan Anafo.
He saw that rightly, and that was Dogo Yakubu with a foul. Just knew it. A bit of a push there. You talk about how he slotted in so far. It's been seamless for him, but it's just that he's yet to hit the ground running. He, as an attacker, he would always be expected to get the goals, at least help Domzo with those goal-scoring duties.
The foul on Saka Dauda. Boniface Blay with that late challenge. There you see Albert Armour beaming with smiles on the Kotoko bench, but here Kotoko steps up with an attack. It's Lord Armour. Bedu tries to bend one, but it's gone horribly wrong. Goal kick.
That was a bad hit, terrible hit by Bedu, who found himself in an attacking position there, but it was quick thinking by Kotoko to just restart play quickly, and Boniface out of position, but you could see Armour making that forward run again, and that ball heading to Bedu, who could only shoot a bit wide. You talk about the spaces, there are quite a lot, but it's all about decision making at this point, making the right choices, and Bedu trying to hit that one from up close to 30 yards out and not directing that one on target.
Holy Stars have won 6 games this season. They've only picked up 23 points and like 12 on the log. 8 defeats, considered 23 goals and scored 17 in the process. Quayson. Aqua wants to go through the middle, sets up Saka Dauda, now Jehu
Aqua tries to cut back, headed down. Now Saka Dauda unable to shoot right. It goes against Blair, and Jetcha will get it away to Simba. Lord Amwa did want to put his body in.
Ball was just right, man, for Chineboa.
Yeah, that would have been a fast break. That would have been a dangerous ball for Kotoko to defend, especially looking at the numbers they have at the back. Nearly resulted in a quick break, but it's Kotoko. They are turning the ball over too many times now. It's either you are aiming for the goal or you don't lose that ball, especially when you are disorganized in an attempt to attack. That nearly resulting in a fast break. But just look at that again. That ball through it. You had Peter Midwako racing down to get at the end of it. It was a bit of a poor clearance there by Arthur, but initial shot of the game going off the Basake All Stars defender.
No goals at the Babayara Sports Stadium. We've gone past 20 minutes here at the Babayara. Holy Stars, the first team to beat Kotoko this season's Premier League. Not giving Kotoko chances to suggest that they've come here to show that form as poor travellers.
It's just been three draws so far in 10 away games. And that's awful, for the record.
7 defeats in the process.
And
7 defeats.
That's just 3 from an available 30. And that's just not good enough. But they understand this league is heavily dominated by home teams, and their home form is a stark contrast of what their record on the road has been.
Considered 17 away goals this season. Holy Stars, second worst away performing side in the Premier League. It's Lord Amwa who steps up to take the free kick for Kotoko. Swings one in. The header is straight to Asante from Henry Ansu.
Yeah, and that's why you sometimes need your lanky defender, centre backs, in those positions during set pieces. That's where Henry Ansu rises the highest, but again a bit feeble.
Joe picks out Aqua, who's got Arthur to beat. He goes back to Joseph Amwa, sends in a cross, stopped by Issa Yakubu. Intercepted by Amwa. Simba returns it to Bedu, but he's almost giving the ball away to Chineboa. Good control from Chineboa. He's got the pace and skill, but that's lovely tackle. Great track back by Prince Bedu. The reason Kotoko brought him to Kumasi from Abrankese.
Yes, showing the spirit of tenacity there. Bedu as well lost it initially, but fought back like a warrior, just leading to win it again for Kotoko.
Good switch to the right by Jehu to Dauda. Now Dogo. Lovely control, but he's giving it away to Jetia. Foul against Jehu, bringing down Prince Chineboa.
Yeah, it looks like we are not far away from the opener here. Certainly, courts. There's so much space there. You look at Kotoko and they're not playing with those close spaces again, committing too many men forward. Same for Basake Holy Stars, and it certainly looks like an evenly matched game where the first goal could just pop up at any point. We've seen some decent chances as well, but I just think it's all about who wants it more now.
Here is Samba, the Kotoko captain. Every passing week comes with news regarding Sylvester Simba's Sambo O'Neill's future with Asante Kotoko, whether he stays or he renews his contract as we head into The first cooling break of the afternoon. That's the earlier incident. There was a shove, but the ball had already crossed the line.
It had, either way, would have been a Basake Holy Stars ball, regardless. But you talk about Kotoko, and you know there are issues with their captain, and it looks a bit bleak. You know, certainly fans quite interested, trying to know the future or what the future holds for their captain. But I think he's been their most important player this season, by far their best player. You know, a bit more versatile. He's giving them goals as well. Last week, and he nearly won them the game at a dance park. You know, unfortunately, he was chopped off. But I think he's really been good for them.
25 minutes cooling break at the Baba Yara. It's goalless between Asante Kotoko and Holy Stars. We've not seen glaring, clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities been created by these two teams. Balanced game with Kotoko slightly on top, but it's been Gideon Quayson who has been causing a lot of problems for the Asante Kotoko defense, especially Joseph Amwa on the left-hand side of defense.
Yeah, certainly. I think, you know, both teams haven't really punched above their weight yet. You know, it's just been end-to-end stuff. But you know, we've seen so much space, I mean, at the back for either team to exploit. We've not really had or seen the teams do that yet. But you know, it feels like the goal is not far away. The first goal of the game isn't that far away. For Kotoko, they've been playing around Chiu. He's really been pivotal for them. It's been more like the playmaking or the playmaker in the setup with Beru. You know, just trying to shield the back four, protecting the back four, which he's done perfectly. We are yet to see that combination, you know, come alive. That combination between Donzo and Dogo Yakubu up front, like we did in their matchday 19 game against BBA Gold Stars at the dance park. But for Basake Holy Stars, yeah, they are making you feel that, yeah, we are the team that beat Kotoko the first time this season. You know, and it looked like Johnson Smith certainly is familiar with the Kotoko setup, and he set up this team to frustrate them a bit. They've not been compact like we've seen them, you know, in most of their away games, but then we've seen them gain entry into the third half. The attacking third, they've had touches, especially through Quayson at the right-hand side of attack. We've not seen the best out of Chinebo, and then also the attacker in Prince Opoku. But then that midfield trio of JTI, Isa Yakubu, and then also Simba are really, really, you know, standing tall, and they've really, really, you know, blocked most of the balls and also tried to help the team move forward.
Lord Amor. Saka's delivery. Penalty. Well, interesting development here at the Baba Yara. Asante Kotoko presented with a massive opportunity. Holy Stars will protest this decision by Anafo. Kotoko wouldn't mind. Saka Dauda still stays down. Kotoko have a penalty.
Certainly looks like a penalty for me. A bit clumsy, very, very clumsy from our forward. It's I don't know, but he could have avoided that body face.
Amido Aka will leave it for his captain, Samba O'Neill. He wants to lead by example and take up the responsibility.
These are pressure moments. Pressure moments, and you always expect the top guy.
Samba O'Neill against Prince Asempa. Samba steps forward, and Samba scores brilliantly from the spot to hand Kotoko the opening goal here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. The captain has led by example. Samba O'Neill scores with a well-taken penalty for Asante Kotoko. It's Kotoko 1, Holy Stars 0.
Perfectly executed. Perfectly executed. We've spoken about him not long ago, about being the most important man in the setup, and rightly so he is. No nerves of steel there. Maintain his composure and just struck that one. No aim for the bottom left corner, sending us the wrong way. He's made for the big moment. He's made for times like this, Samba O'Neill. For a team that's gone 3 games without a win, definitely you'll be hoping that you'll be looking at your most influential player, your biggest player, to convert at such difficult times.
Here's Aqua, puts one through for Donzo. Morifin Donzo. Boazi steps up. That's clever defending from the Holy Star centre back, and the effort to receive applause from the bench. That's Enchi, Kote, Amwa, all of them impressed with the movement of Morifin Donzo.
Yeah, you couldn't help but just to be impressed with that move. And, it was Basake Holy Stars. A second ago, they were chasing the equalizer, and that quick break from Kumasa Kotoko. And Donzo, lovely touch. To get the ball in front of him. Just look at that. Well, it was Boazi just remedies the situation for them.
Lord Amos corner away by Asempa. Issa Yakubu gets it further away for Holy Stars. Is a throw-in. We've gone past the half-hour mark here at the Baba Yara Stadium. Kotoko lead by 1-0. Ketsi Samba O'Neill's penalty after Saka Dauda was brought down in the Holy Stars box. Foul against Asante Kotoko's Saka Dauda on Boniface Blay.
Yeah, it was the same combination that won Kumasi Asante Kotoko a penalty not long ago. This time, Blay, the victim there. Saka not allowing him any room at all. But we've spoken about the spaces at the back, and Kotoko did well on the occasion. A bit clumsy though, but it was a well constructed, ball into the box before being fouled.
These days it's been difficult for entry to get a starting place. Just came up on the screen a while ago. The competition for places in this team seems to be going stronger week in, week out. If they have a clean bill of health, then Zito might have selection worries.
Yeah, it's a big team, as a team always gunning to win the title.
Lord Amwa swings in across. It's kicked away by Francis Asante. Kotoko have the advantage. Interestingly, it's the away team who seem to be dominating possession with 56% against Kotoko's 44%, but it's Kotoko who have done the most important thing by scoring. It's a lovely switch from Jewu to Amwa. Good control from Amwa. But Prince Cheneboa does well to track back and win the ball. Now it's Prince Opoku to Boniface Blay. Issa Yakubu. Sylvester Simba. Simba has a lot of experience in this Holy Star setup alongside Issa Mohammed, having featured for Dreams FC in the CAF Confederations Cup a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, there's tons of experience in that setup, especially in midfield. And you look at that three midfield of JTR, who's seen it all with Samatex as well, and then also Issa Yakubu, very experienced, and then also Sylvester Simba. And nothing could go wrong. You know, and Johnson Spit could be very, very fortunate having these three.
Hubert Bedu. Samba Onioro returns the ball to Kamara. These fans will be excited. They've not seen their team score a goal in their last 2 games. A goal has drawn against Chelsea, same in BBN, and after 35 minutes, they have Samba Onioro's goal to celebrate.
Yeah, it's actually sets the tone for them, not just in this game, but they built the confidence of the team, especially with all the hard work they've put in.
Saka Dauda tries to pick out Dogo, but it's an awkward clearance from Francis Asante. Saka Dauda gets it back to Lord Armour. He's been brilliant on that right-hand side. One of the most improved right backs in the Ghana Premier League in the last 3 seasons. He seemed to be giving Boniface Blay a good run for his money down the left-hand side.
It's not been easy for Boniface Blay at the left-hand side. We saw him, give away a penalty, but then also dealing with a threat of both Saka Dauda and then, also Amwa at the left-hand side has really, really come torrid for him.
Amwa's delivery away by Atta, but only as far as Lord Armour. Lord Armour swings the ball back, headed down by Issa Yakubu. Now Sylvester Simba, Francis Jetia, Prince Opoku. It's a foul. Jehu, deliberate. He knew exactly what it was about, and that challenge has been applauded by Lord Armour.
Yeah, he knew it. He knew he was going to foul him. He knew definitely that was what he was going to do. There was no cover whatsoever. That's why he trucked back a bit, bundled him to the turf.
Gideon Quayson brought down by Henry Ensu. In the meantime, as Quayson stays down, Kotoko have a player down as well. That's a challenge by Ensu, but Joseph Amo had gone down from an initial challenge that Nathan Anafu overlooked until Quayson was brought down.
And that's where the protest began. Kotoko believed they should have had a free kick, but the referee rather giving a free kick in the way of Basake Holy Stars, and it was Quayson. We've not really seen much of him. In the opening 20 minutes, he was the most threatening player for Basake Holy Stars, but the last 18, we've not really seen much from him, and he's always a delight to watch when he's on the ball. We'll be hoping that he doesn't pick up a knock here. It would be very, very bad to lose him.
Holy Stars have lost 3 times and drawn twice in their last 5 away games. But like you rightly said, in 10 away games this season, they've lost 7 times and drawn only 3 times. And after some 39 minutes, Kotoko lead Holy Stars by 1 goal to 0. And this is the 24th goal that Holy Stars have conceded in 20 games this season.
Defensive worries there. Johnson Smith will be hoping and not just winning games, but solving those defensive issues was a problem for them, especially on the road where they've considered a chunk, of the goals. Close to 75% of the goals they've considered this season has come on the road. It tells you that they really struggle to keep clean sheets whenever they go away from home.
Boniface Blade to Opoku. Chineboa swings in across, away by Amoa. But there was an initial foul on Joseph Amoa by Issa Yakubu. Issa seemed to be in disagreement with Anafo's decision.
Yeah, also in an offside position there, flag rightly went up on Issa. And it's unusual finding him in such positions. He is more of a DM, a protector, but today he's left those duties to JKI and he's rather joining Simba, forming those two number 10.
Amidu Aqua. Good ball to Donzo, who uses Dogo as a decoy. Now it's Aqua. Back to Jehu. Jehu is trying to set up Aqua, but there's a good tackle coming from Ata. Amwa swings in across. Asante miskicks. He's won the foul. Clever play from Asante.
He wanted it. He got it. Asante, he should have cleared that one, the first time of asking, but Donzo wasn't just going to give him any space at all to try and deal with that one. That's how you apply pressure on teams sometimes. Yeah, he knew that he could have just sent that one in field for his players to win it, but he decided to just police him.
Sambo O'Neill's goal separates Kotoko from Holy Stars, and that's the third goal for Kotoko's captain this season. He scored in the 2-1 win against Young Apostles and the 2-2 drawn against Mediama, and has opened the scoring for Kotoko here. He's been fabulous for them this season. 4 MVPs, 3 goals, leadership by example, Sambo O'Neill.
Yeah, he's been great, and if the talks are always protracted, with regards to his future with the club, it's understandable. His stock has risen in the last couple of months.
Chineboa. Isaiah Kubu with space to drive now. Quaison. Here is Gideon Quaison. Wants to shoot. Goes against Amwa now. Opoku. Great save, Kamara. Brilliant save from the Asante goalkeeper to deny Chineboa for his 7th of the season. That's why Kotoko wants to keep him, Mohamed Kamara.
Yeah, and that's no rocket science at all. Perfectly worked ball over there. Of shoving there, but just look at that. Quaison does well to hang on. Just turns and tights that one. It was a shot initially, but then blocked by Amoa. Just look at that smart thinking from Opoku and Chineboa nearly adding to his tally there for that heroic save.
He had to improvise and go with the outside of his foot because of the distance and the closeness of the defender. And he got a beautiful save coming from Mohamed Kamara. 3 minutes away from the break. Kotoko up by 1-0 against Holy Stars here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi. Bedu is fouled by Issa Yakubu. Free kick Asante Kotoko. And so delivery trying to find Morifin Donzo. Aqua. Outnumbered and loses possession. Hubert Jehu. Saka Dauda. He sees Lord Amwa on the right. He finds Amwa. Another option in Saka Dauda. Hubert Jehu has lost possession. Jetia, an opportunity for a counter-attack. He puts one through for Quaison, but Sambo O'Neill is arriving. Quaison is still hanging on. Here is Quaison. The Kotoko captain has fouled Quaison. He goes straight into his face. It's a foul. Sambo O'Neill commits a foul. Referee has not reached his pocket yet. Doubt whether Samba will take a card for this offense, but it was obvious that he just used his hands in his face. And Alf will be charitable if he doesn't hand him a card. The danger man for Holy Stars. Boazi is asking whether you won't flash him a card, but it's not your decision to tell the referee to flash a card, Boazi. We've done 45 minutes already at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Karim Zito's Asante Kotoko are in the lead against Holy Stars. Three minutes of additional time. Cheaply gives away the free kick, and here comes Aqua. He's also been charitable, handed possession immediately to Holy Stars. Prince Opoku fouls Kotoko. Samba O'Neil, free kick is Asante Kotoko. Out of 9 home games this season, Kotoko have won 5 of them, but by their own standards, they've not impressed in 4 of those 9 home games. They've dropped points in 4 home games. They drew against Mediama, drew against Brecum Chelsea, drew against Hearts of Lions, and also failed to pick up maximum points against Adriana. So those 4 games could have fetched Kotoko some 16 points, but they got only 4 out of those 16 points from the Baba Yara Stadium. We're into the last seconds of stoppage time to wrap up the first half here at the Baba Yara Stadium. Here is Saka Dauda. He caused the penalty that resulted in the opening goal. Here is Joseph Amwa. Swings one for Yakubu Dogo. Aqua. Donzo. Switches to Amwa down the right side. He's got the pace. Amwa. Saka Dauda! And it's gone wide for a goal kick, and Zito knows something positive should have come from this man. If it's not injured and it's in his elements, he's unplayable. Saka Dauda, teed up by Amwa, went in for the first timer. Just couldn't find the right target. Sylvester Simba. Amwa controls it for Kotoko. Bedu. Pass intercepted by Boazi. Cheneboa is fouled by by Lord Amwa. That's a free kick. Referee Nathan Anafo whistles to bring the first half to an end here at the Baba Yara Stadium. The goal from this man, Samba O'Neil, has made the difference at the Baba Yara Stadium. It's halftime. Asante Kotoko 1, Holy Stars 0.
So it's 1-0 to Kumasi Asante Kotoko in our match day 20 fixture here at the Baba Sports Stadium. Goal coming from their captain Samba O'Neill after Saka that was fouled in the box. And I've now been joined here by the assistant head coach of Asante Kotoko, Prince Owusu, to take his thoughts. Coach, a deserving lead for you going into the break?
Yeah, I think we deserve it. We deserve it. We're going to make sure we protect it and then maybe add some couple to it. Because we need to do that. The position that we are in on the league, we need to get more goals.
All right, thank you very much for your time. So that's the assistant head coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, that's Prince Yauzu, and he believes that it's quite a decent game for them. They head into the break with a 1-0 lead, courtesy Samba O'Neill. It's now time for the assistant head coach of Basake Holy Stars, Rashad Musa. Coach, how do you describe the first half? How difficult has it been trying to progress the ball?
Yeah, very, very difficult because we need to multiply our numbers against their defenders so that we can have more men to be able to hold our play up front. But it's quite unfortunate that our defenders find it very, very difficult to locate our midfielders. So we always hit long balls and then their centre backs picks the balls.
Yeah, but what about exploiting the spaces up front?
Yeah, I think all what we need to do is to create more spaces and then add another man up front so that we can be able to have the ball to play more.
All right, thank you very much. All the best of luck for the remaining game. So that's Rashad Musa. He's the assistant head coach of Basake Holy Stars. It's halftime here at the Baba Sports Stadium. We are headed for a break. When we are back, I'll be joined by Jeffrey Asari for the discussions. Stay tuned. All right, so it's halftime here in our Sunday special fixture at the Baba Sports Stadium. It is Asante Kotoko leading 1-0 against Basake Holy Stars. And who else to get them the goal but their captain, who is leading by example. And it was Samba O'Neill who dispatched from 12 yards to hand them the lead heading into the break. My name is Josel Kuku. I'm still here with Jeff Asari. Jeff, let me take your quick thoughts. And do you think it's a deserving lead for Asante Kotoko after 45 minutes?
Well, of course. I mean, they created good chances. Yes, some uncoordinated, some poor pass, but they created good chances. They have good openings and opportunities. And then, unfortunately, Boniface Blay, was childish. This is what you don't blame a coach. That's lack of intelligence of a player that led to the penalty that was dispatched, especially by Samba O'Neill.
But you look at the setup, and yeah, we saw spaces, both teams trying to commit men forward. There were spaces for Basake Holy Stars, same as Kumasi and Kotoko. But would you say these two teams have actually exploited those spaces left?
Not really, but on few occasions. Basake, you realize that, look, Sylvester Simba, Prince Chuniboa, Gideon Quason, they've been dictated the play when they have the opportunity. You see Samed switching from the left, Gideon Quason from the right. They switch play very well. The problem is the final out there. Look, yeah, you say that the Prince Chuniboa excellent drive, that goalkeeper Mohamed Cameron. Once again, you give the credit to excellent hold-up play, and then the pass from Gideon Quason. But Lorama was the one that made it easier for Prince Chuniboa to actually send that excellent drive, but goalkeeper Cameron stood the test. But for that, and then Gideon Quason had a very brilliant opportunity first pull to nick that ball, but he missed narrowly. So they've not been bad. They've also created their own chances, but they've not been bad at all.
But let's talk a bit about Kotoko and the goal. And would you say that was clumsy on the part of Boniface Blay, to have tripped Saka Dauda? Because we saw how they were trying to swarm the penalty box of Basake Holy Stars to force that error. Would you say it was just perfectly worked out?
It was naive and unintelligent from a defender. You don't cost your team. It's not a very difficult situation when you have nothing to do, but you have an option to either clear the ball or make sure that you watch your leg. You don't need to actually go and put in a leg that will create an unnecessary problem for you.
That's what you have currently on your screen, and that was just clumsy.
That's what I'm saying.
The chance to clear that
was needless. Just clear the ball. It was needless. Sometimes you don't understand what goes to the mind of players at any time, but it was unfortunate. But that has
Dogo Yakubu this afternoon.
Yeah, a bit flat from Dogo. Yeah, he tried his runs. Those are, runs, the partnership between himself and then also his strike partner, Donzo. Wasn't all that bad, but then I think he looked a bit off the pace, and it's just the right time for the head coach to throw in Albert Amwa. He left here with a good track record, 14 in 32 games for them, and they'll be hoping that he scores today.
And it's unfortunate how and why a player like Kwame Opoku has fallen off the pecking order in terms of the striking options. Injury must have played a part, but form must have been the real deal.
Yeah, it is, but injuries will definitely take something away from you, and we've seen him. He's not as sharp as he used to be. He scored twice for them, the FA Cup win over Golden Kick some months ago. He sent them to Africa literally, but he's not really been himself since that time, and you're hoping that if you're a coach, you just hope to have all your players available, and for him it's just not good at this point.
Boniface Blair, Chuniboa, stopped by Jehu. Ensu, Samba, Amwa. Jehu has given the ball away, now Asante. Simba. Issa Yakubu shows great desire to win the ball and get to Jetia. Here's captain Moses Arta. He's formed a very solid partnership with Boazi Adere for Holy Stars. Good ball from Simba to Jetia. He's seen Quaison all alone on the right-hand side. He does want to pick out Quaison. He's coming up against Amwa, who was sharper, brighter, and a delight to watch in the first half, but Amwa seemed to have learnt from his mistakes in the first half.
Yeah, he has, and whenever he come up again, he's a very, very sharp attacker, very strong lad like Quaison. You would have to learn with each and every duel, and I think he's done that perfectly.
Jetia, he's found Asante on the right-hand side. Here comes Sylvester Simba. Last touch off Amwa, throwing Holy Stars. Clever from Lord Amwa to pick out his goalkeeper. Asante Kotoko without the services of their regular left-back Patrick Esiedu, who has gone off with an injury that will keep him on the sidelines for a couple of weeks to come. But Amwa, Joseph Amwa on the left-hand side seemed to be a perfect replacement for him, having come through from Legon City, struggled for playing time. But he's come good in the last two games, Joseph Amwa.
He's always been a good backup, Joseph Amwa. He can play at either side of defense, the laterals. He's very disciplined as well.
Issa Yakubu, Sylvester Simba. Holy Stars are playing catch up, but they don't seem to be in a hurry to make things happen. Cheneboa, Issa Yakubu, Quaison is calling for it. I think it's lovely ball to pick out. Quaison goes past Amwa, skips past Bedu. Quaison blocked by Jehu. Here is Issa Yakubu. Kotoko cleared their lines, but only as far as Asante. He drives one and is flown over the bar for a goal kick. Much to the disappointment of those guys on the reserve bench.
Yeah, that would have hardly even been on target from that distance. He's not the best at shooting from a distance, Asante, but that was a good move orchestrated by Quaison. But then that incisive run there by Cheneboa, who dropped a bit deeper. I think there were better options over there. He could have gone to the closest person in Quaison, who was very close to him, but just decided to try his luck. But that isn't beating Kamara.
Good ball from Asempa. Here is Prince Chineboa. Ball won by Lord Amwa. Saka Dauda to Morifin Donzo. Good movement from Donzo. Lovely ball to Saka Dauda. It's a good defensive cover up by Moses Atta. Kotoko have a corner.
A good move. The way they progress in the ball so quick that you'd always have to be on your toes. And the addition of Amwa, who is a bit immobile, or very, very mobile, I should say, has really, really brought some fear. And he's sparked that attacking lineup of Kotoko. He's brought it back to life. Donzo getting on the ball. Sakadada also adding his bit from the right hand side.
Vision have gone up by 2-1 against Hoho United at the Hoho Stadium as Young Apostles equalizes against Dreams. Is 1-1 in 2 by Joseph Amwa. Swings in the Kotoko corner. Headed down by Amwa. And Moses Atta gets it away. Good ball from Amwa to Bedu. Here is Hubert Jehu. Samba. Bedu. Purposeless. Nobody in red for that one for Kotoko.
Not at all. And you're asking who was he aiming at, but it just gives them a bit of time to regroup and try to set back again, move into the opposition without the ball. But that was an awful ball from Bedu.
It's a brace for Benjamin Chivagno, the former Black Stars captain in Swedro, as Eduana lead All Blacks by 2-0. The Magicians are in trouble in their own backyard.
Yeah, but for Ediana, it would be a good win for them on the road, especially looking at how they've struggled in recent times.
Morifin Donzo. Good work done by Boniface Blay.
He just wasn't going to allow Donzo nick that ball past him as well with the protection as well.
Atta. Asante. He's aiming at Prince Opoku, but Samba O'Neill is arriving first. There's a push on Samba O'Neill. Intelligent defending from the Kotoko captain.
Just knew how to draw the foul. Samba O'Neill. A ball hit a bit too high. A bit away from Prince Opoku. He's been a bit isolated.
The pennies dropped. Of course. Pay a low flat fee and keep the money you make. Interactive investor. I think, therefore I.
10 minutes into the second half. It's 55 minutes here at the Babayara Stadium. That penalty converted by Sambo O'Neill is what Kotoko is hanging on now as Holy Stars try to come back into the game. Kotoko have introduced Albert Amwa to boost the attacking options, but has still not been able to hit the back of the net. 10 minutes from recess.
It was a good move. It was a good move. At some point, you'd think that, tactically, teams have been able to just, negate each other's strength. But I think for Kotoko, it was a good thing bringing on Amwa. I've not seen the best of him, for sure, but still a quality player.
Not too sure about the kind of football he played while he was in Libya, but it's very obvious that he didn't play competitive football while away in Libya. And it must have taken some shine away from his quality, no doubt about that.
Yeah, well, if you're a Kotoko fan, you're hoping that, it was that same Albert Amwa we had a couple of seasons ago that just returned for us. And, he seemed pretty happy, a bit sharp. During training, he's been good. Trying to build that rapport again with the players he left behind, and it's been good so far.
Morifin Donzo goes past Atta. Here is Aqua, and Aqua with a left-footed cross collected coolly by Prince Asempa. Good play from Isaiah Kubu. Cheneboa stopped by Bedu. Is a fair challenge, no foul in there. Here is Saka Dauda. Poor ball to Morifin Donzo. Asks too much from the striker, but Kotoko still hang on to possession. Jewi switching on the left side for Aqua. Amwa. Can't go past Atta. Kweisin overruns the ball and out of frustration brings down Hubert Jehu, and he gets the yellow card for that tackle. Clearly out of frustration.
It was coming for him, and you know, in as much as he's a good player, quality player, I think sometimes he's over elaborated. Perhaps he wanted support at that time, but no one there to pass to. Kept his head down as well, and there was a good movement by the Kotoko players to just crowd him. And that forces him to lose the ball.
Sylvester Simba. Good defending from Henrienso. Confirmation of Gideon Kofi Kweisin's yellow card. Issa Yakubu shows great desire with a shot across. There's nobody for Holy Stars. Asaka Dauda takes control. Jetua is approaching. Goes past Jetua. Picks out Donzo. Here is Hubert Jehu. It's a long one aiming at Aqua. Aqua's got Asante to confront. Here is Aqua. Tricky on the left-hand side. Can go past his marker if given the space. Here is Jehu. Swings to the right. He's looking for Saka Dauda. Too much on it. Offside.
And that's what you get when you fail to time your run. And this time was Saka. You're thinking he could have just moved onside a bit. He had all the time to make that decision. Unfortunately, he just got stuck at the right-hand side of the Kotoko attack. Intelligent defensive play by the Basake Holy Stars defense.
Samba gives the ball away. Here's Opoku. Now Sylvester Simba drives from a distance and is not troubling Asante Kotoko. He knows too well that effort is unlike Sylvester Simba.
Yeah, a bit unlike him. You know, the apologies will continue from Simba. And you know, the last couple of shots we've seen Holy Stars take, you know, have all been outside the box, and you're wondering how they can beat Kamara with those. And well, he's a very difficult goalkeeper to beat at any time. But to shoot from distance, you just need to be accurate. There should be some power behind the ball, which we've not really seen from Basake.
Poor clearance from Boazi, but Atta, that's it well. Yakubu to Jetua. Good skill from Sylvester Simba. He's pushed down by Prince Bedu right before the eyes of referee Anafo. Jetua gives away the free kick.
They're struggling sometimes, Basake. You can hardly hold on to the ball now, and you know that's what Kotoko wants. They just want you to give that back the ball, then we begin to attack again, and that's what they're doing now, pretty much the second half.
Issa Yakubu dinks one, but there's a beautiful clearance from Samba Onyo. Ensu nearly gave it away, but he stayed composed and calm to do well to find Aqua. That's clever from Henry Ensu.
He would have lost that if he had panicked for a second, but just maintained that composure to win it again.
There's a foul on Prince Bedu by Asante.
From the beauty of waterfalls to the rugged charm of rocky shores, this island truly has it all. All just a short ride away. Cyprus. Short distances, endless journeys.
Kotoko have a player down. It is the right back, Lord Amoa. Emmanuel Kote, who went off with a long-term injury, might just get his chance to return for Kotoko. He joined Kotoko from Instructorman halfway through 2 seasons ago, but he's not really hit the ground running like expected because of injury. Lord Amwa doesn't seem to have enough competition at that right back. They brought in Shaibu Abubakar, who's also gone off injured. So Amwa is returning now.
Yeah, he's always going to be the first choice, in that position. He's really proven over the last couple of seasons, even during his time at Peckham Chelsea, he's a top player in that position. But you talk about Kote, and the weaknesses in his game actually hasn't really given him, that game time he's needed. We saw him during his days in Swatcherman, where he was an explosive right back. He would always want to search forward, but defensively a bit more of a liability where he needs to work on.
The medical team trying to do their best to get Amwa to stay on the field. Good dummy from Jeu. Aqua against Asante. Back to Amwa. Amwa's cross, Asempa fumbles, and it's a Kotoko corner.
Yeah, that's a cheap corner to give away. Asempa should be gathering that one with some ease. There was no pressure whatsoever. Not enough power behind that ball, and just look at that. Just needed a second attempt, which he wouldn't have. Well, should be dealing with that one, especially if they should score from Thursday. It would go down as an error from him.
Emmanuel Kote makes his first Premier League appearance for Asante Kotoko, this time returning from a long layoff through injury. He takes the place of the ever-improving Lord Amwa. So a lot is expected from Kote. Jeu. Simba. Cheneboa can't get onto that ball. Was being chased down by Kote.
And that's what he wants, Prince Cheneboa. He knows he has that pace. He has the trickery as well to elude anyone. Last time was Kote, who I think perhaps might not have even had a feel of the intensity of the game. All Cheneboa had to do was to just control that one, and it would have been another story.
Marfin Donzo doesn't seem to get it right. He's not really been that striker Kotoko would say has given them the numbers since arriving.
You wouldn't say he's giving them the numbers, but it's a consistency with which he's always on the team sheet. That's actually what's mind-boggling.
Enzo gives it away to Issa Yakubu, but the flag is up for offside.
I think the protest will continue. Offside, certainly, on Prince Opoku. Okay, not really seen the best out of the front three of Basake Holy Stars. Prince Cheneboa Quaison has been a bit quiet. Prince Opoku has been isolated.
Amidu Aqua. Beckham Chelsea have beaten Gold Stars by 2-0 at the Golden City Park in Brekum. Aqua. Good tackle from the captain, Ata. Kwesen shows too much of the ball to Kotoko's Bedu, and here is Jehu to Saka Dauda. Decides to go for goal and is straight to Asempa.
A lovely hit there, Saka Dauda. When you have options as a player, usually it's just boils down to making the right decision there. I doubt hitting it from a distance was the right decision. Players making the move, there were runs being made. He just decides to go from a distance, Saka Dauda.
Albert Amwa, he wins the foul. Jetia fouling Albert Amwa for a Kotoko free kick.
You talk about intelligence to win a foul, and that's just it over there from Amwa. Just doesn't try to win that ball, just puts his body in between Jetwa and the ball. Jetwa getting on the wrong side of Amwa, shrugging him to the turf, and that was a good free kick to win there.
Albert Amwa scored in Kotoko's opening Premier League win this season over Brekum Chelsea at the Golden City Park with a fantastic finish. Will he score in his first game on his return to Kumasi after that brief stint in Libya? Free kick taken. Here's Saka Dauda. Ball is cleared by Blay. Boazi. Blay. Cheneboa is fouled by Emmanuel Kote. Free kick, Holy Stars.
He just had to take that one for the team. Kote, unfortunately, he doesn't even get booked there, but no good way to just hold that attack of Basake Holy Stars on Prince Cheneboa.
Offside against Amidu Akwa.
Free trades, free ISA. No commissions, no ISA account fees. Invest in over 6,000 stocks and ETFs. Save on tax with an award-winning ISA platform. Free trade, where more of your money stays invested. Capital at risk. ISA rules and other charges may apply. Always do your own research. Tax treatment depends on personal circumstances and current rules may change.
Boazi's free kick. Kwesen, handball against Kwesen.
It's just too obvious from Kwesen. He looks a bit tired. Not that same energy we saw him in within the first half. Doesn't look as sharp as he will. Just look at that. Too obvious, and he should just count himself lucky to having shown the second yellow card.
Jehu. Saka. Emmanuel Kote. Saka Dauda can't get back to Kote. Here is Boniface Blay. Shows great strength on that left-hand side of defense for Holy Stars. Blay
was just looking to combine with Opoku. At least Opoku trying to drop a bit deeper to have a feel of the ball. He's been isolated majority of this game.
Jetia. The idea from Cheneboa was to get to Kwesen, but Aqua intercepts. It's Peter Amidu Aqua. It's a lovely run from Aqua. He puts one through for Albert Amwa. Albert Amwa swings in across. Asempa gets it away. Here is Jehu. Shoots. Saved by Asempa. Albert Amwa goes down. Is a fair challenge No foul in there. Good tackle from Asante.
That was a brave tackle from Asante. Well, there are a couple of shots there by Kotoko.
Last season, Kotoko beat Holy Stars by 1-0 at this venue. Cheneboa trying to find his way to equalize, but Kamara was first to the ball. In that game, Kotoko scored the only goal through Samuel Tenedu on the 23rd of March 2025, match day 25. And it's match day 20 here at the Baba Yara. Sambo O'Neill's goal, keeping Kotoko in the lead here at the Baba Yara Stadium. Is a foul on Saka Dauda by Boniface Blay.
Yeah, again, and these two have actually enjoyed their time with the duels over there. Boniface just knew, just wasn't going to win that ball.
Quayson, you rightly said, he looked tired. He makes way for Prince Gamo. The spark with which he began the game with was virtually non-existent in the second half. Quayson, he's paid his dues. Crossed by Kote. Donzo misses. Amwa with an overhead kick, and it's a stunner. An absolute beauty on his return to the Baba Yara Stadium. What a goal! Albert Amwa doubles Kotoko's lead in magnificent fashion. Oh my word! This is an absolute beauty, a world-class finish from Albert Amwa. Kotoko 2, Holy Stars 0, and it's a weldy from Amwa.
That's what you get from your darling boy. That's what you get from a top quality player like Amwa. Improvises. But what about that for a strike? What about that for a goal from Albert Amwa on his return? He's been looking for it. He's been missing for the entirety of his time on the pitch, but then there's that one chance, just that moment, and it's a moment of brilliance. Just doesn't even celebrate in full fashion, but just look at that. How's the club in his heart?
We're having the discussion about how competitive he's played since moving to Libya, how sharp he was going to be on his return to the Baba Yara, and how Kotoko can rely on him for the goals to get back their season on track in their bid to win the Premier League. And if he's got any confirmation to make on his readiness to take this team on his shoulders, that goal speaks volumes of his readiness. Those two boys play together. Dreams Johnson and Simba exchanging pleasantries as Johnson gets his time in this game for Kotoko.
But that's the goal that confirms his return, and that's why the coach spoke up so profoundly of him, called him his darling boy upon his return, and he's really proven why they've been missing him. Like, you talk about the fact that, yeah, he's not been there. We saw his runs earlier on when he came on, but that goal is a goal of a season contender.
This is how it all began for Albert Amwa. Lovely cross from Kote, nodded down, not too better contact, but how about that overhead flying kick?
Smart thinking, but it was Kote who buys himself so much time. No pressure on him, sends in the ball, but then that should have been dealt with over there, not being dealt with fully by Arthur. And just look at Amwa, just one hit. It's a sumptuous goal.
I made a point about the fact that he scored in the very first Premier League game for Kotoko this season, and whether he was going to mark his return with a goal, and he's done that in amazing fashion. Albert Amwa, that goal will make the headlines in the week coming.
Most definitely, and where to spread fast across the cheese of Kumasi, that their darling boy is back, and you would have to come and watch him week in and week out.
He's aiming for a double. I've seen him gone behind that free kick. Saka Dauda and Aqua making way for Adam Inusa, and Johnson upon almost a like for like from coach Karim Zito. Free kick Kotoko. Albert Amwa bends one. Asempa fumbles, but he makes amends.
Yeah, no, his confidence now is just, out of the roof now. Albert Amwa after scoring that spectacular overhead kick. And that was the hit again, and Asempa nearly fumbling that. Could see Johnson trying to pounce on that. Inusa right there, both onside, making timely runs into the box to try and hit the rebound, but Asempa got it again. That's what sometimes is unique from your attackers, to try and be on alert, try and win the second balls, and that's what Kotoko have done this afternoon.
Kotoko still piling pressure and aiming for the third. Some 12 more minutes before the 90. Here is Bedu. Ensu. Inusa. Ball taken over by Boniface Blay. Ensu hands the ball to Gamo.
Let's say Holy Stars, they've struggled this in the second half. The first half was pretty much better, but in the second half, no grip. They barely made runs into the attacking third, and see the likes of Simba.
It's impossible to keep a mischievous little demon, have a 3D printer, and still have a smile on your face.
I got it!
You might think you've cracked the code, but you just can't escape those sneaky little paws. Well, thanks to enclosures, your printing kingdom is now safe. Suddenly, you've made the impossible possible. Elegoo.
Stop going. He's always running for the team, defending, attacking, linking up play, but the goals ain't coming.
Yeah, it tells you the dimension with which he plays. With that, he's not the striker that gets you your 15, 20 goals a season per, his scoring rate, but the work rate just up there.
Johnson Smith has made some subs. Maybe clears the danger. Francis Owusu steps in for Jetua, and Simba goes out for Matthew Mensah. Those substitutions expected to add some bites, at least in the last 10 minutes for Holy Stars. Mensah, and then Owusu.
More like attacking substitutions.
Attacking substitutions.
Yeah.
He's throwing everything at Kotoko. Now, so they move into a four-man attack in the last 9 minutes. That's interesting from Johnson Smith.
He's down now, and there's nothing to be scared of at this point.
And he had the go through Chiniboa. Gamo cleared by Ensu. Donzo. Here's Jeu. Too close to Asempa. It was meant for Albert Amwa.
Yeah, and he would have latched on that if there wasn't enough space for him to operate. He's been quiet though, but they'll just count on him to give you that moment of brilliance when the time arrives.
Gamo. Jetia. Issa Yakubu. Another Beautiful tackle from Bedu. Amoah stays onside, but the flag is eventually up for offside against Albert Amoah.
And that's the only reason why he's not going to score his second of the day, Albert Amoah. The flag went up rightly, but I think he just made that late run. But this is where he gets dangerous, especially when there are spaces though for him to operate.
Morifin Donzo is making way for Kwame Opoku, the out of favor striker. One time a darling boy for these fans, but these days he struggled to win over their love, Kwame Opoku.
And you'd never say he's lost his mojo. Yeah, he looks a bit off the pace, but you look at the head coach of the club, and he has some players he wants to work with. Hard-working players up front. Without the ball, you need to press.
Here is Albert Amoah. He shoots from the distance and it's gone over the bar. Ambitious effort from Albert Amoah, desperately looking for a double to further send these fans into wild celebrations.
And he's moved a bit central now, but he's dropping deeper. They're feeding him the right balls, and you see he's just trying to get one on target again.
Albert Amoah, he's got Kwame Opoku. Opoku! And Opoku scores in similar fashion like Albert Amoah. The two strikers have all scored from spectacular overhead kicks. Kwame Opoku makes an instant impact with an assist from Albert Amoah. It is game over, and Karim Zito and the rest of the Kotoko technical team amazed by this development. Opoku makes an instant impact with that bicycle kick. It's 3 for Kotoko, and Holy Stars have a very tall mountain to climb. It's fair to say it's game over, but Kwame Opoku will be excited that he makes that instant impact with this lovely goal. Great thinking from Albert Amoah.
Great thinking from Albert Amoah. And just look at that, Asempa, no man's lad, just grappling to have his hand just wipe out that one away. Just look at that, no chance. But the ability to hit it onto the tip made it so difficult for Asempa. But it's Amoah again, a workaholic. He made the right decision at this point. He knew he wasn't going to score. And then in one game having 2 overhead kicks, tell you what, that is just impressive.
And you're expecting this camaraderie, this telepathy, this partnership to yield results in the weeks to come. Don't forget, in the next 2 weeks, they have a big date here at the Baba Yara against Hearts of Oak. A game they would expect these guys to show up and score lovely goals like this. The ever-present Porcupine Tertiary have got exactly what they wanted. The goals that will help them find their voices. 3-0 up, you can take anything away from these fans.
Absolutely, you can't take anything. But for Abdul Karim Zito, having 2 sets of attackers, in Dogo Yakubu and then also Morifin Donzo, then you have the next set of attack also giving you a goal. That speaks volumes of the quality he has on the bench, and it's glaring now. 3-0, and they are walking away with all 3 points.
85 minutes. Kotoko 3, Holy Stars 0. Jetia will finally take a bow, and his place will be taken by Gabriel Apia. Cheniboa. The last time Kotoko won a game here, they scored 6 goals against Bechem United. And they lead by 3-0 with 4 minutes to go against Holy Stars. Issa Yakubu, not the kind of result he expected against his former club. Yakubu was in his prime when he joined Kotoko from Liberty Professionals. Here he goes to the middle and finds Mensah. There's a long switch onto the right. Asante is there, but Joseph Amoah defends really well and wins a foul for Asante Kotoko. He's had a very decent game at left back, Joseph Amoa. That's a push right in the face. Kotoko have now scored 27 goals in the Premier League. "27 goals for the Porcupines. And they've scored 21 out of those goals at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Before this game, they have scored 18 goals here at the Baba Yara Stadium and conceded.
Darling, my mobile bill's gone up again. Well, you are on a big mobile network. But why'd you say it like that?
Because with Labara, I've saved a small fortune. Everyone in the village has switched.
Well, I could switch. I just haven't yet.
Labara, the smarter mobile network.
10! No, from £5 a month.
Holy Stars have now considered 20 goals away from home. That's some horrible statistics from them away from their home grounds. And it will be their 8th away defeat in 11 away games this season. They are yet to win a game away from home. They've drawn 3 times and are in the process of losing the 8th time of the season. Here is Gamo. Issa Yakubu. Issa with a through ball to Gamo. Flag goes up. Offside against Gabriel Appiah. Gamo with the first effort. Another one from Matthew Mensah. But even before Appiah could make the move, the flag had gone up against him. That's the confirmation of additional time. We are doing 5 minutes of additional time. It's Kotoko 3, Holy Stars 0. Kotoko will next travel to Pando to play Hearts of Lions on match day 21. And Holy Stars have a date with Chelsea. Amwa displaying great sportsmanship. Trying to tie that band on the wrist for the Holy Stars player. These two guys have worked really well in midfield. They seem to be striking some cordiality. Second time they are playing together in a starting lineup. Red-eyed, dejected face for the Holy Stars bench. A while ago was Kotoko's president of their legends, George Kennedy, in the dark shades and an outfit, dark outfit in the VVIP. And those two goes by Amwa and Opoku must have delighted the legend, who scored some beautiful goals during his playing days in the 80s at this venue. Kotoko will move second on the league table with 35 points. If it stays this way, Holy Stars will drop down to the 15th position if it stays this way. Here is Jehu. He's put up a very solid performance this afternoon. Now here is Adam Inusa. Nimble-footed, skillful, brilliant. Inusa bends one, is blocked by Boazi. Johnson sets up Bedu. Bedu shoots and is blocked by the captain Arta. It falls to Joseph Amoa. Amoa finds Bedu. Bedu to Samba. Samba to Kote. Lovely pass and play from Asante Kotoko. Under no pressure, they are living in a world of their own with those 3 goals, keeping them in a comfortable lead. Amoa, Samba, Bedu, Amoa, Jehu, Inusa. Kotoko still hangs on. Here is Albert Amoa. Boniface Blay has come up worse after that tackle. Injury concerns for the Holy Stars left back Boniface Blay. He had gone in with a very harsh challenge on Adam Inusa, only to come up worse. Six home wins. It will be for Kotoko. Flag is up. Inusa is offside. But he must keep his composure. He must be calm. He wanted to overreact after that push on him by Blay. We're into the final seconds of stoppage time. It's Kotoko 3. Holy Stars 0. Back to winning ways after 3 games without a win. Asante, Gamo, Apia, Asante, Boazi, Blay. That's awkward. Awkward from Blay, and that should be it. Referee Nathan Anafo has taken a good look at his watch, and I get the feeling we might just be wrapping up now. All eyes on Anafo as he takes another look at his watch. Samba O'Neill gets the ball into Holy Stars territory. Boazi finds Asempa. Back to Boazi. Referee takes the whistle to his lips. Another look at his watch. Now he says game on because Asante has got possession. It's Issa Yakubu now. Captain Ata. Mensah loses out to Jehu. That's the final whistle. Kotoko back to winning ways after going 3 games without a win and without scoring in their last 2. They return to their fortress at the Baba Yara to beat Holy Stars by 3-0. 2 wonderful goals from spectacular overhead kicks from Albert Amoa, who returns from Libya on a loan stint with Kotoko. Kwame Opoku putting the ice on the cake with another overhead kick after Samba O'Neill had opened the scoring through a first half penalty. It's a dominant vintage performance from Asante Kotoko that moves them to 2nd on the league log. Hubert Jehu crowns the day with a man of the match performance. Total display that would delight Coach Abdul Karim Zito. For Kotoko fans, their happiness will be in the fact that their darling boy, Albert
I'm a carpenter specialising in custom furniture, but the process plays havoc with my hands. Splinters, sawdust and glue come with the job. Unfortunately, what also came with the job was my hand eczema. It wasn't just the pain and discomfort. The psychological effect ground me down. Then I spoke to my doctor, who provided me options for managing my condition. And I returned to the thrill of the workshop.
GNPC has committed to its mandate of developing Ghana's own petroleum resources to support the provision of adequate and reliable supply of petroleum products and reduce the country's dependence on crude oil imports, charting in the process. In education, the corporation has, among other things, constructed over 150 classroom and dormitory facilities and awarded over 4,000 scholarships to deserving Ghanaian students at the graduate and postgraduate education levels. Recognizing the importance of preserving Ghana's natural environment and the health of its people, GNPC has funded the construction of over 700 borehole water systems, 86 sanitary facilities, and 30 AstroTurf pitches to enhance physical and sporting health. GNPC, powering dreams.
So an exhilarating performance after 90 minutes ends Kotoko not only 3 points, but then they managed to score 3 goals past Basake Holy Stars. Samba O'Neil, Kwame Poku, and then also Albert Amo upon his return, getting the goals for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And it's now time to have take the thoughts of the coaches. I'm now here with a losing coach. Coach Johnson Smith. Coach, commiserations.
Thank you very much.
A tough game for you, but how would you describe this game?
Oh, it's not a bad game because the performance of the Kotoko boys weren't bad. Because we plan to win the match. But it's unfortunate it came this way.
But how would you rate the performance of this team? We saw tactically you struggled. In the first 20-25 minutes, you are alive. After that, nothing from your attacking lineup.
Yes, I don't know. We don't have real attackers. That's why. Because you can see from behind, you can see our attackers are slow and old. That's why.
Thank you very much. Wishing you a safe journey back to the Western region. So that's the head coach of Basake Holy Stars, Johnson Smith, after his side succumbed to a 3-0 defeat at the hand of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. But then the other manager obviously will be happy, talking about the coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Abdul Karim Zito. And I saw him sharing some laughs with his boys. Coach, how happy are you? You're back to winning ways after 3 games without getting a win.
I'm more than happy that we've won today. It's been long. For so many weeks, trying everything possible to win a game. But I'm very happy today. We've been able to score 3 beautiful goals. I'm very happy.
But after those frustrating games against Brecum Chelsea here, and then also away to the Dance Park where you believe you should have won, you think that's just the best way to respond?
Well, we responded against Bibini Gold Stars. We were even faster than today. Yes, you know, the weather is too distant today, more than last week. And it's not easy playing in such weather. Yes, I think it's continuation of what happened at BBNE. But the difference here is we were more focused on goal scoring than BBNE. Because it wasn't easy at BBNE. But we do all the attacking, we do everything. I think today we were better in goal scoring than we played in BBNE. So I'm very happy at the end of the day we've started by 3 goals.
Samba scored for you, but then I think the highlight for you will be Albert Amwa coming back. You called him your darling boy. He scored, he assisted. What do you make of his performance?
Fantastic. He announced his coming back with these 2 beautiful play, scoring 1, assisting 1. So at the end of the day, you tell me it's I'm very happy he's back to help the club.
But then you have also another striker from the bench in Kwame Poku also coming on to score. Does that give you headache going into the other games?
Before, no, I don't have any headache. I did the change not because they didn't play well. You understand me? It's like I had a lot of thinking, how am I going to rearrange my team without strikers, without this or without that. But at the end of the day, I think gradually we are focused, and we are also still doing everything possible to win the game. And we did it. So I'm very happy with him. And then he announced he's coming by scoring a goal and then assisting, which is very good.
But with this win, you still move within 8 points because Mediama also won their game. Do you still think winning the league is possible?
It's possible.
It's possible.
Until it reaches a point where you can say it's not possible. It is not over until it's over.
Thank you very much. Congratulations once again. So that's the head coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Abdul Karim Zito. His side scored 3 times in their game against Basake Holy Stars. And it's now time to speak to the most valuable player in the game. And it went to Kotoko midfielder Hubert Jill. Hubert, congratulations. Who game is saying?
I guess a game they're tough because they are also a good side. So we decided to win this game at all costs. Yeah.
Now performance in midfield is only Bedu and only Hilary Lord a double up previously. But what's your partnership now and what's your performance? How has it been for you personally?
Yeah, I say training. I'm because since in America say agile. Yeah, until you position, you know,
now Albert Amoakoye, Waba, you've had a chance to play with him. Who performance the same? Shego or my assist? Who performance the same?
Yeah, only the minimum that I do not know how to say. Yeah, until the hands will be piano, no piano, or be convert.
Interesting. Partnership Ben as who person winning them building going forward. Only Albert Amoa.
Yeah, going forward, you know, like I say, I was a man boss. I'm so many assists, and I do also I was a young team shoot to share. No one American.
Now most person win the league, no?
Sure. A person win the game,
okay, right. Thank you very much.
Right.
That's the man of the match in our game. The most valuable player being adjudged to Hubert Jill, the number 12 for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And those are live pictures, highlights of the game we just witnessed. I'm still here with Jeffrey Asari, and I'll be taking his thoughts. Jeffrey, what a game we witnessed. Exhilarating performance by the Porcupine Warriors. And it looks like after these match days, 3 match days without winning, they just responded with some style.
Yes, also because of the quality of stars available to the coach. Because clearly, I mean, Albert Amwa comes on. This is his first match after returning from Libya. He comes on, wonderful, top-class performance, the strike. First of all, the strike, how did it come about? It was Emmanuel Kote who came on for Lodamwa. Kote to the captain, Samba O'Neill. Samba O'Neill back to Kote. And then you realize that Abetama, because he was brilliant, he was making sure he was timing the run to wait for the Kote's cross. And when the cross came, what a brilliant that kick from him. Overhead. Wonderful overhead kick from him. Then you have Abetama again, now assisting Kwame Poku's goal. Now, Betama's presence is going to create more competition for the likes of Kwame Poku and Donzo. So the Kwame Poku has to also start proving and making a statement. That's what Betama's presence is going to create. So by doing that, it's pushing Kwame Poku, Borofin Donzo, Dogo to up their game.
But we saw the setup. We saw Donzo start together with Dogo Yakubu.
Yeah.
Then he takes both of them off, brings on Albert Amwa before the second half starts, and then later brings on Kwame Poku. And you have the 2 substitute strikers getting the goals. Will that give the coach a lot to worry about if you were the coach?
Does your loo roll make you feel good? Who Gives a Crap donates 50% of their profits. So add some woo to your loo with feel-good toilet paper. Who Gives a Crap?
And also makes it possible for the players to make sure that they are taking responsibility for the reason why they're on the field of play.
But for Basake Holy Stars, after this defeat, they slump back into the red zone. How do they recover from this?
Well, it's by beating Brekum Chelsea. That's their next home game. You have to just pick that 3 points and then try and grind some away results, just like they did against Adriana and then Mediama. They should try to do that. Pick all home 3 points. Look, Mediama will be going there. Adriana will be going there. So at least they'll start from Chelsea and then try and win all home games and pick some valuable away points. Then they can survive it.
Thank you very much, Jeffrey Asari.
It's always a pleasure.
That's where we wrap up on this week's edition of the GPL. And it was the match day 20 fixture between Kumasi Asante Kotoko and then also Basake Holy Stars. We're live on Unia TV as well as on TV3 and then also on at the SAT Plus. My name is Giselle Kukwede. It's always a pleasure to come your way with this presentation. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
I want to start today, Move Different Part 3. No weapon that is formed against you will prosper. Are you taking good notes? Let's jump right back into where we picked off last week.